We simply need to win streak harder. I think we it really it's perfect, right? I think the grand game that we lost was in our very first set. So if we ever want to do it faster, we basically already win streak the whole way. We just got to get more perfects. But I don't know if Vikala's gonna be the one to do it. Okay, I don't know if Vikala has that in her. Who should Vikala beat up? Vikala should beat up another Vikala because that's just how her mental state works, I think. What's Vicky's 250 restriction then? That's a great I mean, I guess no items, right? No item toss? It's gotta be no... I would assume... What do you guys think? I feel like no item toss, so no 5U and no 5U into the cannons either, I have to imagine. Right? So we can't 5U and we can't, like... Dormouse? That could work too. Well, I don't know. What is more important for Vikala? Is it no traps? Is it, like, no cannon? Because, like, I'm thinking no cannon, like, you can't fire these, you know? And you also can't do that. Rad jam, rad jam, rad jam. If you get any projectiles in the star, you surrender. I feel like no item toss. It's her gimmick. It's her 5U. It's built into a couple of her things, right? I feel like that's gotta be pretty important, surely. So we'll do that. I only found out yesterday Vikala has a 7-frame far M and a Gami tweaking. Yeah, she got a pretty nice far M, man. Right? This does oftentimes catch me off guard a little bit. It's a pretty nice range and it's 7 frames. It's kind of nice. Only hearts and cheese. I mean, I can't really do that. Oh, you're saying if we do no items, it's like if I get a heart or a cheese, then I do have to launch it. Yeah. That's an interesting idea. We can do that. But yeah, so Vikala, right? Vikala. Let's take a look. I actually I don't know a lot about her buttons et al. Right? So let's take a look here. Right? That's a pretty nice far L, isn't it? 6 frames. I mean, I guess it's not like huge or anything, right? But that's a pretty nice far L, no? Am I tripping? Hold on. What's a good like comparison point? Who has like a yeah, Grand's got like a solid far L. Love and cheese. So why is Vikala bad? We'll figure out. I mean, she certainly like, you know, she's got in general pretty easy zoning to get past. She snowballs really hard, but it's hard for her to set up her game plan. Like if I had to tell you right now before I play her, right? Her zoning is relatively easy to get past compared to someone like Matera. I mean, she has 15,000 health like a lot of the zoners, which is pretty bad, right? Her fundamental mechanic still is RNG based, right? Like, yes, you can see the item, but it is still the case that sometimes you're just going to not get the good stuff when you need the good stuff, or you're going to get like a heart or a cheese or something like that in a key moment. She suffers from a lot of the same problems the other zoners do without necessarily having as strong of a zoning pattern to back it up, basically. Would be like the spark notes on why I would think Vikala is not very good. Now I say this again. I wanna get this across. If you had to gun to my head, who do I think is the worst character in the game right now? It would be probably Vikala. Maybe I think Nier still got buffed enough that it probably is Vikala now. But like, it's not a matter of like, I don't think Vikala is ass, right? It's just that the game is like the bad characters, quote unquote, the low tier characters in the game are so good at this point that like someone's got to be bottom one, and I don't really see an argument for a character besides Vikala as it currently stands, right? Anila too? I don't think so at all. I think there's like 9 characters we can talk about before that might be worse before we talk about Anila, in my opinion. I think Anila is a little, like, she's not amazing. I think she's a little, like, the idea that she's even in the bottom 1 conversation is very odd to me, personally. But, so, Vikala, right? So, that far L seems pretty good, right? Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a little, you know, it's decent. I think it's a little bigger than Grant's. 3 active frames. It's not nothing special, but it's interesting. Ooh, that's... Yeah, that is one of those zoner 2Ls, though, right? It's not quite as bad as fairies, from what I can gather. Yeah, it's not quite as bad as fairies. But that does certainly... Yeah, it's like still... Like 2/3 the size of Grand or something like that. Not an incredible 2L, sure. Far M seems nice though, right? Far M seems nice. I know it's rat time, but how long does U Butterfly last? Too long. Yeah, her Far M is just, I mean, it's big-ish, right? I think that's, yeah, it's like about the same. A little smaller than Grand's, okay? It's a little smaller than Grand's, right? But it's 7 frames. Good speed, good range. Let me get HP recovery back on here so I can stop just killing Grand for trying out my buttons. What's this on block, out of curiosity? -8? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a, like, in every way, basically, it's a slightly worse version of Grand's Far M. Grand's Far M is really fucking good, though. So, like, we're not really, I would consider this a pretty damn good... Oh. What? Okay, yeah, it has 2 more recovery frames, yeah. It's even on counter hits, really, how interesting. I mean, not that you're gonna be canceling this into something, but yeah, the frame data on it's just a little worse in general too, right? But like pretty damn solid far M if I had to guess. Yeah, her 2M, big button, right? This big like slide forward that she gets too. But the problem is, it is, you know, don't do this without canceling it. -10 on block, right? This is death on block. But you know, it's got this big slide. It helps her to convert off a lot of stuff. It's an interesting little button, right? It's also minus on counter hit. It's not just minus on hit. Even on counter hit, that shit is still minus. Oh, it's punishable on hit. Okay, yeah, so cancel this all the goddamn time. Gotcha. S tier far M versus B tier far M. It's so Jover. Wait, this is like S tier and A tier. Her far M is really good still, right? This is a really good far M. 7 frames. Like, being a little worse than Grand's far M means that you are amazing, usually, right? But yeah, this 2M's interesting. It's big, but yeah, like, punishable on hit is quite something, huh? If you, obviously you cancel that, but like, that is certainly frame data they put on that move. Now this is sort of the money as far as I'm aware, right? Big ass far H. 11 frames, right? Not the slowest for how big this is. Like, definitely, I mean, larger than Grand's by like a good margin, right? 11 frames, not a huge, despite what it might look like, because it is just like attacking with Dormouse, right? The disjoint on this is a lot smaller than you might think, and it actually extends her hurtbox very early on. This is something that I had to lab out with Ladiva, because Vikala could do this, I think it was, like, spaced out. She could go like, I think it was M fellas, right? She could just do like spaced out far H M fellas. Or was it light fellas? It was light fellas, yeah. It was this, right? And like this was kind of a problem for like this is like a pseudo, like a fake little infinite you can catch people in if they don't know, right? But like realistically, what you can do here, because it's plus 12. The fellas is plus. So like you might think like, oh, I blocked the fellas, it's my turn. No, it is not. What you do here actually is after the fellas, if she wants to far H again, it extends her hurtbox like a good bit before. You see that? It extends her hurtbox like a lot before it's out. So the gap to actually mash out of here, like Ladiva will 2U if she wants, or like 2M or something like that. Between, like, after you block the fellas, right, before the next far H. That's why this is fake, basically. Is the far H ain't safe like that, you know? But far H is a good button, certainly. That is an instant massive hurtbox. Yeah, it's a good button, but, like, the hurtbox extension happens on frame 5? So there's 6 frames here where the hurtbox is extended and there's no hitbox at all, right? So, like, it has its weaknesses, certainly, but it's big, it's relatively fast for its size, pretty decent, right? Her 2H is weird. Her far M is the fellas. Yes, she swings the fellas at you for the far M. Her 2H is weird, right? A lot of zoners, all the zoners have kind of weird or bad 2Hs in some way or another, right? The big thing with Vikalas is compared to Metero or Fairy, this is air unblockable, right? It's air unblockable, which is something that, you know, Fairy and Metero don't have, but of course, no zoner can have everything in a 2H. It is small, man. That is a small 2H, right? Like, even Grand's 2H is nothing spectacular, right? As far as vertical distance, and even then, if I understand correctly, yeah, right. Like Grand's 2H is pretty non-impressive in terms of the height that it reaches. It's still like notably, right? That is still notably higher up than where Vikala's 2H is getting to, as you can see, right? So it does not hit very high. This is like, you know, like the tool of like Fairy close M. Like if someone's just like really close to you, you use it, right? That is really forward instead of height. Yeah. So it does cover a good distance in front of her, truly. So yeah, again, it is, you know, you're gonna try and use it to cover like this exact jump angle, but you have to be pretty late on it, right? So a lot of like good jump-in normals like this might just straight up beat your ass for it. Does she have a better anti-air? I mean, not really. The fellows, to my understanding, are air blockable, if I remember. So like maybe she can do like a GG style thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can hit people with the fellas to stop them midair. That does cover like that sort of. This is, I guess, this is kind of equivalent to like a Fairy or Metera 2H, where it's air blockable but it's huge. Except of course this starts up in like 22 frames, right? So it's a little slower. But you know, you can at least, if you need to cover it from distance, you can do this. But really 2H is going to be the main thing. Obviously you have UDP as well. If you've got the meter for it, you can throw out your like this, right? It's going to work all right enough. Right, it'll cover an angle that her 2H won't, at the very least, right? Because if you're directly above Vicky, or if you're in front of her, her 2H will work, right? It's more so if you're coming at her from like this high diagonal angle, she probably needs to end up trying to air-to-air a lot, right? We can talk about her JH is a really nice air-to-air button. This is a really nice air-to-air button, right? So she probably wants to try and meet you in the air and smack you out with this JH more often than not. But yeah, so 2H is a little stinky, certainly, right? Supposed to use traps to cover jumps? That too. if she can set them up. But like, you know, they will get up there. They are, I believe, air blockable, but you know, you can do funny with that. But yeah, so she's got really good air to airs. And traps, yeah, can do some stuff, that's true, but 2H is a little stinky. It's air, again, it is, however, the only, you know, it's air unblockable, which is, again, something that does at least, it's not like it's just worse than, like, Fairy or Materas. They have pros and cons, right? And then 2U is an interesting button, right? If I remember correctly, this is kind of slow. No, it's okay, it's 8 frames, yeah. I mean, 8 frames, I would call this, like, a decent size, right? For an 8-frame 2U, it's a little small, certainly, but it's not crazy. I believe this is also cancelable. Yep. So, you know, pretty standard 2U. It's gonna be nice for her in some defensive situations. Because, of course, her 2L she's got that zoner 2L. It is not good, right? It's better than Fairies. It's like twice the size of Fairies. But it is not good. Okay, she does have the best crouch animation in the game. As well, right? We could talk about this. That is certainly a big pro of this character, is her crouch is top 1. I'm just gonna sit there. You guys can look at this with me here for a second, and, Yes, she's adorable. My actual human daughter. But yeah, I think that covers all of her block button animation. True. Yep. But yeah, so I think it covers all of her buttons. Her anti-air is air grab, because that animation does 10k mental damage. True, she does have Shin Kikoho, Vicky Cannon, Rodent's Beam, Rat Shot, etc. Rat Shot! One of the best air throws in the game as far as animation is concerned, certainly. Otherwise, they're all equal anyway, right? Besides the command grabs. But yeah, so her air buttons, we already talked about JH. Very nice air-to-air, right? JM, is JM her cross-up button? Yeah, okay. Not an amazing one, but hey, again, you know, we have to compare her to her cohorts, right? She has a cross-up button, unlike Fairy. And this looks a little bit more reliable than Matera's JL2, but you know, she has a cross-up button at the very least, so that's something. Yeah, JL obviously active all the way down, right? Very classic, and she has a little party favor there, very cute. What is her her JU, right? Her JU is the item toss, yes. I mean, this is like air stall, in quotation marks, it exists, right? I mean, maybe if you know that you have a really good item here, right? Something a little bit more meat to it, or something like that. Maybe this can be, yeah, like a more worthwhile air stall. You could actually get something off of it, right? But otherwise, you know, it can be an air stall sometimes. Like, it does immediately halt her momentum, right? So that is true. Like, it is a good air stall. It's just like most of the time, like most air stalls, you're not going to get a lot off of this. Unless you have a really good item in the hopper, right? Like, I mean, Spike Ball, yeah, just kind of the GOAT, basically. Air stall usually gets you killed, correct. Our anti-air is air grab, yeah. Our anti-air is, in fact, air grab. Some of the best animations, period, correct. I feel so evil today. What happened, man? Why? We're playing the daughter, that's fine. Bubs is the evil one. We'll play him on Thursday or something. But yeah, so that. Oh, I guess 5U is a big one to talk about, right? Obviously, Vikala's big thing, as you can see, every, I believe, 6 seconds, right? 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000. Yeah, just about, right? Obviously, my counting is probably not exactly spot on, but like that's not. I don't think I'm off by a margin of more than a second there, right? So every 6 seconds, that item there is going to shift. And the options are ball, right? They're not all created equal, and they don't all have equal chances either, as far as I'm aware. The stronger ones and the really weak ones, I think, both have lower chances, right? Like the sort of middle of the road ones are more likely to happen. I want to make daughter's life hard today. Listen, man. I always, for me, I got the streamer OS. Either you give me a lot of money and I'm pogging and we get to do like fun, unorthodox challenge stuff, or we get Vicky to master in a day and I get to say she's broken. But yeah, so ball is like the sort of like default kind of bad one, right? It like works at the very least, right? Like there's no, she has like there are worse items certainly. Like it doesn't have a ton of hit stun, it doesn't do a ton of damage, it doesn't really have any special properties. It just kind of exists, you know? It can work as combo filler, like with the cannons and stuff too. Like it, you know, it functions. It is the most like it exists item that she has as far as I'm aware, right? On the opposite end of the spectrum, bomb, right? Very nice. It does, if it's shot out of a cannon, I believe they explode immediately, right? Yeah. If she tosses it, it does a little Faust thing, right? And it sits there for a bit before it blows up. This does, I think this is the highest damaging item. It also has obviously this big knock-up that the other like ball didn't have. It's quite plus on block if the explosion goes there, right? And then you have Cannonball, sort of, I would say, like, this is, to my understanding, this is sort of the default, like, good item, right? Like, it's not amazing, but, like, this is, like, you know, this is a decent roll. It's just a better version of the ball, as far as I'm aware, right? A little bit more hit stun, a little bit more block stun, I believe a little bit more damage as well. That did 1,000. The ball does 400. Yeah, so, right? This is a direct upgrade on ball as far as I'm aware. Maybe it doesn't fly as far when you throw it. No. So yeah, it's just a straight upgrade on the ball. And then speaking of straight upgrades, there's Spike Ball, which of like all of the ones that are like this sort of ball chain, this is the best one, right? They upgraded this to be 5 hits in the last patch. It's plus a billion on hit. It's plus a billion on block. It does, I think. Yeah, it doesn't do any chip. I don't think any of them do except maybe bomb, right? But yeah, right. Plus a lot on block, plus a lot on hit. You just kind of do whatever the hell you want, right? Like this is one of like the good pulls for sure. I don't know if this is like the best pull. I don't know actually what like Vikala's best item is considered to be, but this one is certainly one of the most annoying to get hit by. Oh, that's true. It rolls a lot. I did not know this. I did not know it did this either. Yeah, when you throw it like this, it fucking you get Fireball Drive Rush. That's insane. That's pretty fun. Okay, cool. Star is probably the best. Star is I think probably next on this list, right? Cannonball and Bomb are the ones worth using as combo filler. The items are light reactions or scale your combos too much. I mean, depend. Maybe sometimes I don't know if you ever need a cannon follow-up for a combo is my point, right? And a Smoke Bomb. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this one does. This is just bad, as far as I can tell. I mean, it obscures it, sure, but like it obscures it for both of you. I don't know if like Vikala's supposed to throw this on her, and then like you know what you're doing because like you know your inputs, but your opponent doesn't, or something. I don't really know what this is meant to do. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, if I could see a use case for this, I assume you throw it, and then every now, like, you know, if you're behind, right? If you're behind it, you can do like, yeah, I guess, yeah, her 6M isn't overhead, that's true, we didn't talk about her dash normals. It's like, maybe you could do like some high-low funny or something, right? Smoke also doesn't work on graphics down settings. Wait, really? It's optimal to fight Vikala on low settings? I did not know this. That's real? Be better if it lasted a little longer? What do they even want to do with this? I guess it makes 6XM hard to react. I did not realize you could turn the MERP clip. What is the MERP clip? You guys keep saying the MERP clip. Give Vikala survival mode Smoke? Yeah, it is kind of funny that, like, if you turn the settings down, this doesn't work? This does nothing? How odd. Yeah, Smoke Bomb, to my understanding, is maybe the worst one. I don't know. I don't really know. Star, now, for something completely different, yeah, I mean, this is, right? It's a lot of screen control. This is a lot of screen. It stays on there for a long time. It bounces, it covers this really nice area, right? Obviously, all the items can be fired out of the cannon as well, right? And then Star starts doing some pretty funny stuff, right? It lasts, like, while Spike Ball, maybe gets you a little bit more immediate rewards, Star just, like, stays on screen for so long and just gives Vicky that screen control for so long, right? Very, very nice item as well. One of the good draws, certainly. And then here are the two ones that, to my understanding, are just bad. Like, it's a baby version of Fairy Super for free. Yeah, you can think of it like that. It's a baby version of Fairy Super that, you know, you just have to get lucky to get. So, hearts, both players can do this, right? But if you walk over the hearts, I believe you get 500 health back, 1,000 health back, I forget. Might be 1,000. That looks closer to 1,000. It's not, it's coming back because of the HP recovery being auto. But I think it's 1,000 health that you get from this. You know, most of the time, though, you're throwing this in the direction of your opponent. So, like, a lot of the times, you're going to end up accidentally, like, this is mostly something, I think, to fuck you up, where, like, you get it in the cannon, you don't react fast enough, you shoot a heart at your opponent, and they heal off of it. On the bright side, this used to not have a hurt box, right? This used to be, like, you know, even if you fuck up your combo and shoot a heart at someone, it at least, like, actually hits them now, and puts a little hit stun on them. This used to just fly into them, heal them, and do nothing. So that was a buff they gave Vikala. It does something. You can forward jump to grab it for yourself, but yeah, the healing item suck to pull. Yep. Cheese is the same thing, but for meter, right? This is our last item, I believe, is the cheese. Yeah, which, same thing for meter, right? You throw this, you pick it up, you get 10 meter. Your opponents can also pick this up. These are the low roll items, basically, right? Here's the MERP clip, you can take a look at it later. These are the low roll items, as far as I'm aware, right? Like, these just kind of suck. They at least are better now because they actually hit people, right? The cheese. Oh, when fired out of a cannon, I think, only, right? They have a, yeah. When fired out of a cannon, they actually have a hitbox now. So that's, you know, if you fuck up on your reactions and you shoot it at someone, it's not so great, right? Even if you react, it still forces you to stop your game plan or heal the ops. That's the biggest reason why she's bottom one for me. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you know, you can at least keep the combo going now if... I'm not sure what exactly, you know, why you would want to do that. If it's already at full meter or something like that, you at least have the option to decide to keep the combo going if you can't afford to drop it, right? Where again, it used to be that these would, even if you shot them out of the cannon, they would do nothing. So it's something, but both of those items are certainly bad, right? So I mean, you might notice ball. I would call ball not good, right? Bomb is good. Cannonball is okay. Like cannonball's fine. We'll call cannonball is like if we're having like a +1 and a -1, right? Then you know we have bad, we have good, we have 0, right? Even, really good. Honestly, this is terrible to me. I really don't know what the point of this is. I almost want to put like a -2 for that one. Star is really good. Heart and cheese are bad, right? So you might notice bad 1, 2, 2 bads, 1 good, 3 bads, 2 good, neutral, 3 good, 4 bad, right? So Vikala has, I would say, on average, her items are. I mean, maybe you can call ball as like, you know, maybe you can cancel out ball and cannonball, right? Like ball as like neutral but kind of bad, and cannonball as neutral but kind of good. But the point is that over half the time, Vikala's unique mechanic is going to give her something that is. Now, to be fair, the priorities, the RNG on it is not equal, right? I believe that the most likely ones, I think, are ball and cannonball. And I think all of the special ones are all like in the realm of like 10%, right? I think heart, cheese, star, maybe spike ball is a little bit more. I still put cannonball as good. Maybe spike. I don't know the exact. They're not all equal percentage, right? It's not like 7 ways or something like that. But like a lot of the time, let's like, you know, back of the napkin, just say roughly like 40% of the time, 40 something like that. Vikala is going to have something that is at best kind of bad, and at worst like genuinely useless or actively detrimental to winning. And the other like half of the time, it's going to range from good to like amazing, right? Yeah, star and spike ball are very, very good, right? The problem is that, you know, that inherent inconsistency in like your unique mechanic is a little rough, right? Now again, it is, I will say, the reason the buffs matter is like Vikala not all of her moves rely on the items, right? So if I'm looking at that and I see that I have like, you know, maybe I don't want ball, or maybe I have like hearts or cheese, something like that, I can do other things, right? Like the game does now, like with letting you see this, it does let the Vikala player only like use the items when they're useful, right? Now that it's not like it's not a downside at all. If you just get unlucky and you just get a bunch of bad items, you are basically still just losing your core mechanic until you get lucky, right? But at least before this, I'm talking, you know, before Vikala got buffed, you would just hope and pray. And if you had cannons, if you're doing it like this, like you would just have to react and hope, oh god, hopefully this is something good, right? So it is certainly, like, again, the buff does matter, and it does mitigate probably Vikala's biggest weakness, in that her core mechanic is a detriment to her sometimes. And at the very least, you can now, if you play Vikala correctly, if you're locked in, you can basically never make it a detriment. At the very least, it just doesn't do anything, right? At worst, if you're just pulling back-to-back like hearts and cheese or something like that, you just lose the mechanic, right? You just lose the mechanic. So that's obviously not great, but it's neutral. You just don't have a 5U, you don't have the cannons, right? I used it to read Vikalas a few times, knowing that if they get a good item, they're going to want to use it. Yeah, it's true, but if the Vikala notices that you're, you know, like at that point, like, again, certainly Vikala can make better use of this information than you can, right? Like, if that's the case, you know, when they get a star, they might, like, run at you, you might do something silly and they kill you for it or something like that. There's a whole mind game there. So seeing this is a really big buff for her, certainly. Her win con is space control until you generate a star, spike ball, or heavy marching teeth, then approaching behind it. I never use her cannons to zone. Yes, true. The problem is that, like, without like good items and cannons, like Dormouse plus traps is really not a very. This is not a very scary zoning pattern. It's kind of one of the problems. At least that's what I've experienced fighting her, right? Like Vikala, it only really feels like Vikala really starts to get out of hand. Those like fairy rounds. We're gonna compare to fairy because we just played another zoner, and a zoner that I think is a bit better than Vikala, right? A lot better than Vikala, actually. But like those fairy rounds we got where a guy just doesn't get to play the video game sometimes, those I feel like have only ever happened when I'm fighting Vikala, when she's just getting like star, spike ball, you know, cannonball, ball, star, spike ball, cannonball, star, right? Like the times where it feels like Vikala gets to actually like, she just has it, like, you know, the zoning game plan is really scary and it's really hard to do anything about, is kind of out of her control. It just needs to get really lucky on what items she gets, in my experience. Right? A grappler player calling Vikala's zoning ass is saying something. I mean, again, Lediva's big problem is not really projectile zoners, so I understand, but like it's not really, that's not, again, Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's a little bit of an irrelevant comparison, but yes, Vikala's zoning is not particularly threatening, in my opinion, compared to Matera or Fairy, right? If she's not using her 5U, right? If she's not using cannons, if she's not using 5U, it's kind of whatever. It's kind of okay, right? And in a game that has a lot of very good anti-zoning tools, that's a little scary to have, right? And we can talk about why. So that's her little unique mechanic, her items, right? So let's talk about specials. We'll talk about the cannons, I guess, right away, because we already mentioned them. So the cannons, right? I believe you can, do you hold the button? Yeah. So the cannons, you have the light cannon, you have the medium cannon that angles it up, and then you have the heavy cannon that does both of the cannons, basically, right? And what you do, basically, is light. If you press it, it puts it on the ground. If you hold it, it puts it in the air, right? Same thing with medium, as far as I'm aware, right? If you hold it, it puts it in the air. And then heavy puts both of them down, and if you hold it, it angles them, right? You get the medium angle. So, you know, these, again, when you spawn them like this, they have a hitbox in and of themselves, like that, right? But also, if you then hit the special button again, you can see whatever item. You can see it from there, too, right? I have Spike Ball right now. You can see whatever item, and you can shoot it out by hitting the button again, right? So if you see cheese or heart or something, maybe don't shoot it unless you have a really good reason to. And yeah, basically it applies the same way in every way, right? It's just the angle is going to be different depending on whether you put it in the air or whether it's the medium one or the light one, right? And again, heavy does both, then fires 2 copies of the item. And the U version is kind of interesting, right? Her U cannon is a little bit interesting because, I mean, one, if it just hits, right? Big boom, takes us back to full screen. This is where the zoner wants to be, right? Not bad, not bad. If you block it, it does a very similar thing, actually, right? If you block this, Vikala is not as plus, but she's still plus, and she gets to go back to the screen, to the other side of the screen, which is very good for her. Now, of course, you don't have to block this, right? Gran can, oh, I did the, there you go. Right, if Gran spot dodges this, then Vikala is, depending on who you are, maybe even punishably minus, right? But at the very least, she's minus, you can maybe chase her down with whatever your neutral skip of choice is, something like that. Or even, I think you can roll this too, right? I don't think it's just spot dodge. I think this thing doesn't hit, doesn't catch rolls. Oh, does it catch rolls? Oh, you can't roll it. Okay. I know. I always spot dodge. I didn't know why. I guess I must have tested this at some point and learned that rolling it is a bad idea. If you pray to Iron Mouse before each round, you only get cannonballs and spikes. So true. Yeah, seems like you can't roll this. Okay, that's good for her at least. But yeah, so you can spot dodge this, right? And if you spot dodge this, then Vikala is very minus, and depending on who you are, you can at the very least either try to get some screen space back on her, or you can even punish her for it potentially, right? But yes, on block, it's very good. On block, right? She's +8, goes back to full screen. Nice way for her to just reset back into her win con, right? The forward is the fellas. The rats, as I like to call them, or the fellas, I don't know what the actual move is called. I called them the fellas. It's called Rodent Rhythm, right? Yes, Rodent Rhythm. The light version throws them horizontally like this, right? The medium version has that more like anti-airish angle, and the heavy version is the light version, but it lasts for way longer, right? You can see 47 total frames versus 59 total frames, right? So the heavy one like sits there for longer, and I believe starts up faster too? No, starts up slower, actually. I lied. I'm a liar. I lied to you. Unironically, 623M is a better anti-air than 2H, I swear to God. Not really. I mean, like, again, it's 20-something frames, right? So she has an inverse, where, like, Matera and Fairy have their air unblockable anti-air options, but they're the special moves, and they're, you know, her 2H is air unblockable, but small, whereas theirs, like, they have the air unblockable, smaller special moves, and a big air blockable 2H. Vikala has a small air unblockable 2H, and a big air unblockable 623M for anti-air, right? But yeah, so this move, I mean, you might notice, there are, a wide variety of plus frames Vikala can get off of this, right? If I throw it from far away, he's like plus 14, plus 16, double-digit plus. Light fellas up close is straight up like bad punishable, like close H punishable for a guy like Grant, right? So, you know, be aware, certainly. Buyer beware. It's got a lot of active frames, so depending on when you hit it. The medium one, if you hit a guy on the ground, right, a lot of the times, because most of its active frames happen up there, you're going to be very plus. The other problem with it, though, of course, is that it's not hitting them for most of the time, right? So Vikala is, this is not exactly safe to just do like this, right? And yes, as normal, the H Fireball is the one that is always plus on block, no matter what you do, right? It's also, yeah, it's a combo extender for her as well. And the U version is her DP, and it is not good. It's better than Galleon's, I think. It's probably better. Both of them are really bad. These are like, I mean, it covers a horizontal distance pretty well, but you might notice this has literally like basically no hurt box above her, right? This DP whiffs in some very unfortunate circumstances sometimes, right? Loses to able flight sometimes, yes. It's interesting. It's just not Voss's. I mean, Vossraga's grab is a whole other, like, I'm talking about actual reversals, basically. Voss's grab is a whole other can of awful, right? But yeah, like, it's not, this thing is certainly an interesting DP. It works when she needs it to, a lot of the time, right? It's on the short list of UDPs that lose to Zoe HDP, yeah. It's got pros and cons with Galleons. It's a projectile, I believe. Yes, it is, that's true. That doesn't matter in most cases, unless you are fighting Ladiva, basically. Yes, yeah, Ladiva can just headbutt it. Unless you're fighting Ladiva, it being a projectile, I don't think matters. I don't know what other characters have, like, projectile invul moves that they're going to be using on your wake up or in pressure or something like that often, but yes. It has a very funny interaction with Ladiva's headbutts where you can just meaty headbutt Vikala, and if she DPs, she's minus 40, your headbutt eats it, you gain meter and kill her, right? Very, very sad. But yeah, so, it's something. It's something. Galleon's is bad, but it's caught me in places I didn't expect. Vicky's is bad, and it lost stuff I can't believe. I mean, but Galleon's has a way smaller horizontal, like, Galleon's horizontally is about a third the size of Vikala's? Something like that? Doesn't water Sandy eat it as a result? No, it's a U projectile, right? So, like, it'll beat every projectile in the game besides, like, Matera's U Fireball. It'll clash with Eustace Flamex, stuff like that, right? I'd much rather have Galleons. I don't know, man. This actually covers triple the horizontal range that Galleon does. They're both bad, though. Like, at the end of the day, it's a mid-off. Like, they're both of them are in contention for the worst UDP that we've got that isn't, you know, Vossraga's U grab, I like it's not even really a UDP, right? Fucking 35 frame startup reversal. No, thanks. But yeah, so that's the rodents, the fellas, right? I've accidentally baited Galleon DP because I didn't space it perfectly. Yes, yeah, it's very small. Vicky's lows are actually so bad, man. We have the traps here, right? So Light's trap just kind of goes up and activates either, yeah, it goes a certain distance, then it places like this. And it'll activate if someone runs over it, right? Or even if someone jumps over it, like this, right? And it can catch, I believe it doesn't catch, I don't think it catches super jumps, to my understanding. Let me check real quick. Yeah, right? It does not catch super jumps, but it will catch, like, even the apex of a regular jump. So, you know, pretty decent to just put down and then be relatively, you know, use your, like, roll stopping options, put the trap down, and they can't really jump safely, at least not without stalling themselves. Technically, Sora's empty hand is also projectile invuln. Yeah, but it's like, he's not going to use it in, like, pressure. You know, he's not going to do, like, close L H empty hand, then you DP through it and he kills you, right? Man just zooms over and says, nah, trauma. Lancelot can just zoom past the traps. That's tough. That's tough. She's really weak to just dash momentum and jumping at her. I mean, yeah. But yeah, so that's the light trap. The medium trap, I believe, yeah, just goes further. Yeah, it just goes further before it places, right? So if you want the actual snap or if you're a little bit further away than the medium trap. Very notably on both of these, right? They are both incredibly long animations. You have to be real careful just throwing this out like this against any character that has any full screen, like, neutral skip or anything like that, right? This is like when I'm fighting Vikala as Ladiva, but my number one thing is wait for her to do this and then you lariat her for it, right? Just kill her. These are incredibly long. 44 frames is incredibly long. Oh yeah, and you can also set it behind people and then, you know, do, the traps do let her do things like combo off her 6XM, for example, right? I don't think it lets her combo off of throw. Maybe I'm wrong? Does it? Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So yeah, the traps are nice once they're set up, but setting them up is an incredibly arduous process. You either want a knockdown for this, or you want, like, you know, a significant amount of plus frames, right? You can get to be, like, double-digit plus if someone blocks or gets hit by, like, M fellas, right? So you can straight up, if someone respects M fellas, then you can, like, usually sneak in, like, an actual unpunishable trap setup or something like that, right? But again, be very careful. Usually you want to do this off a knockdown of sorts, right? This is not a good idea to just use in pressure, because it's not just a reaction check, right? It's 44 frames. It's 44 frames, right? So, like, you can, if you have something that hits someone in 20 frames across the screen, which is very common, right? Then you have to react in 24 frames, which is very, very doable, especially from these distances, right? There's less to worry about over here. Can rush moves or death bypass it, or usually still hit it if it's active? You have to be pretty fast, I think. I think you have to be pretty quick to not, like, some things can, but I think, like, for example, I think Grand's U boots. Yeah, Grand's U boot will make it. I think Ladiva U lariat may or may not. They do still have, like, an activation time, right? They do still have an activation time. So it is, just like Kag's traps, it is certainly possible, if you're fast enough, that you can get past these. I imagine, just like with Kag's traps, I believe this motherfucker could probably just run by them, right? EX traps can't be destroyed by attacking? Yes, yeah. I believe this motherfucker can just do his thing and, oh, no, he can't. Okay. Hey, that's better than Kag. All right, maybe he needs more dash acceleration. Hold on. He can't. Okay. That, you know, he can do that to Kag, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Am I talking shit? Am I talking bullshit on that? I thought he could run over Kag's traps. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess let's do, like, M trap over here. I could have sworn. Yeah, okay. Oh, look at that. It's actually, he's actually, they activate a little faster than Kag's traps. Who would have thought? Rare Vikala W. One thing I like about traps, they can't be jumped over. They can be super jumped over, yes, but not jumped over. If you super jump over them, you're fine, but that obviously gives Vikala a little bit more time to potentially anti-air you or react to your jump, right? Deal with that. And then H-trap, right? Or no, H-trap, sorry. Right? And it doesn't place like the other one. It does kind of come in here and, oh, sorry. It comes in here and then bites them. Also, notably, the traps, very important to mention before we talk about H-trap. If you hit the trap, just like Kag's, it goes away. You cannot do this to H-trap, right? Like if I have Seox try and just smack it like this, right? I guess the timing wasn't exactly perfect on that. Maybe like a far H. Right? He smacks it, nothing happens, he just goes to hell. So that is nice. This is also certainly like, you know, Vikala can run after this a little bit. You can do a little bit of fireball drive rushing here potentially too. Similar thing with the U1 as well, can't be destroyed, and it does do the double bounce like that, the double bite. This is, both of those traps I believe are also quite plus. Yeah, +5 right there. Please don't do anything on block, Mr. Ox. Timu Hellrat? Hellrat from Timu? A little bit, perhaps. Yeah, quite plus, right? Quite plus on block, certainly. And the U1, no exception, even more so, right? I do believe, are these bites a true block string? I actually don't know this off the top of my head. If he just, like, spot dodges. Please don't put that in the video, I don't want to bring back the bottom one, Kagabias. People can say whatever they want at the end of the day. That is a true block string, huh? Yeah. So if you get hit by the first bite, you can't really, you can't do anything about the next one. What about if you spot dodge? I almost want to, like, I guess I want to time the spot dodge myself, potentially. Right? Yeah, if you spot dodge the first hit, the second one doesn't happen, right? I didn't remember if that was the case or not. Yes, I mean, Vikala is still plus if you do that, right? Vikala still, like, if she, like, does this and you spot dodge it. I believe... Did I not have him? Okay, I was gonna say, I think I have him set to do it on, like, a delay, right? She is still plus there, she can still, like, do some funny there. But, you know, it at least can limit the plus frames if you do that. I believe these ones also, unlike the other ones, yeah, much more jumpable, right? Much more feasible for you to just jump past them. I don't know if you can skip past these in the same way. I guess you can. Oh, boy. I did not know. I mean, this is Seox, to be fair. Just because Seox can do this doesn't mean that everyone else can, right? But yeah, these seem to have a, oof. That, listen. It's Seox, okay? It's Seox. Just because Seox can do it doesn't mean everyone can. It would be bad if he could do this. Can he do this? Seox is a whole other, can of worms, okay? Oh, no. Vikala on one side and Gran on the other. God's best projectile, for real. Yule can probably do it too. Yule's pretty fast, yeah. Gran is like, he's fast. He's not super fast, he's not super slow. I want to use Gran as like the... Ooh, okay, I mean, he might need some dash acceleration. Yeah, if he gets like up to speed a little bit, then maybe. But yeah, it seems like Gran, not quite, right? Yeah, if he gets some dash acceleration, he can do it, but... so yeah, you know, they're slower than the traps. Can he boot through it? I have to imagine. I mean, if he could run through it, right? There's no way he can't... Yeah. Now, to be fair, this does recover a lot. This does recover a little quicker. Not a lot quicker. 5 frames quicker, right? But, he certainly can, right? If he sees her do this, he can just boot her for it. The U1, I believe, is not really any faster. If anything, the U1 is a little bit less safe, because it's 49 frames. I don't think I knew this. This one is the longest animation of all of them. I guess part of that is use skill slowdown, but as far as reacting to it, right? Yeah, that's, again, maybe save some of these for Oki, right? Maybe save some of these for knockdowns, I think, right? If you get a knockdown, you can force someone to block it, right? Or if they wake up spot dodge, you can kill them for it, and then you're very, very plus, and you can do whatever it is you rat people do with your free time. So yeah, that's the traps. And then, also, I mean, we just talked about it, right? But the traps can also, right? If you, like, once you set them up, you can do Cagliostro-style stuff, where you can, oh, does M have more hit stun? I could have sworn I could far H after... Does M have more hit stun than L? Is that true? Is this a real thing, or did I just... No, okay. I just mistimed it the first time. That's fine. And then the last thing is Dormouse, right? Which is our fireball, essentially, for all intents and purposes. Could you quickly list many important option selects for Granblue? Delay tech is a big one. I mean, fuzzy mashing in general, like not just delay tech is like a specifically if you think someone's gonna throw you, right? But also just like having that little delayed mash, so if someone leaves a big gap, you can hit them out of it, even if it's not like a throw, even if it's like a, you know, they're doing something like a Lance Rekka or something. Back in the day was a big application for it, right? A lot of people, I do believe, will do something where they'll like down back and hit Brave counter or something like that on, I think it's something like that, right? Where you down back and you hit medium and heavy, and it's like if they hit you, you Brave counter it. If they don't, you can like throw out a Raging Strike and catch them off guard. Or no, if they hit you, okay, what was it again? That one I don't use, but I remember there's something like that. There is something like that, where people like on wake up they just do a little delayed medium and heavy. I think. Delayed DP is a big one too, right? You block right away, so if they bait your DP, it doesn't come out. But then if they wait and then they try to hit you, you can hit them, right? They can catch, like it's a delay on catching their delay to catch your DP. Yeah, we can get it. It's a whole other thing, certainly. 2L and RS, right? Yes. It's 2L and RS. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you. Yeah, because it's like you wake up, you hit 2L and you hit RS, and if you block, you Brave counter, and if you don't, you 2L, right? So if they meet you, you can Brave counter them off of you, and if they like leave a gap or if they try to shimmy or something, you can 2L and hit them. That's what it is. Yeah. 2L and RS. That's right. Anyway, Dormouse is Vikala's fireball, and it is a fireball, technically. I mean, the light one doesn't go full screen, right? But it is unrollable, right? It is unrollable. Very important to note that Mr. Fantasy vs. Rising here, yeah, you cannot roll that shit, right? It does catch rolls only invincible above the knees. This hits low enough that it will catch rolls. But yeah, we get it. Not full screen. The M1 is the exact opposite. This thing, you can crouch under it. You can certainly roll. It's 2. You can also, if Gran is just crouching, this will whiff on him, right? But this goes full screen. Has a pretty good, both of them have a pretty good effect on hits, right? They bounce you back right there, right? Gain Vikala a lot of screen space back, very plus on even on regular hit like that. But yeah, the crouching one can whiff, or sorry, the medium one will whiff on crouchers, and you will be pretty minus when it happens, right? When this does whiff, it is very possible to crouch this on reaction, and then again, on reaction, hit Vikala with your neutral skip of choice and punish her for it, right? Send her to hell. So again, you gotta use these tools a little sparingly, but I mean, this is, you know, from further ranges, you can fire this off pretty fast, right? It's decent, it's got a good effect on hit. This is like, you know, one of the bread and butter zoning tools, sir. We talk about how god-awful her normals are. I mean, I don't know about god-awful. Her 2L is bad, but I mean, it's better than fairies as far as zoners are concerned. Her far L is fine. It's a very normal far L, right? Far M is actually quite good. This is a slightly worse version of Gran's far M, aka it's fucking nuts. Far H is pretty decent. 2M is certainly not great, like, in terms of the fact that it's -10 on block, and it's -6 on regular hits, right? But it's big, and you're supposed to cancel this, right? You're not supposed to just be doing this. This isn't a pressure tool, really, right? 2U is decent. I would not really say that her... I mean, 2H isn't great, right? 2H and 2L aren't great. I don't really know that I would consider her normals to be god-awful, personally. Right? I mean, even 2H, like, all the zoners have bad 2Hs, and this one is at least the only air unblockable one. It just pays for that with its size. So, we didn't talk about her dash normals, that's true. 6XL is... Honestly, I think that's a pretty decent one, no? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a little worse than I thought, actually. But that little cheese pillow does go kind of far, and if you slide... Actually, no, yeah, if you slide a little bit, it seems like it carries momentum pretty well, right? Like, hitting from round start like this is something that is like, this is usually the way that I test these, is like, how close are they to hitting someone at round start? You only have to slide a little bit. It's actually pretty nice, right? I think it's a pretty nice 6XL if I'm not misremembering what other ones look like. She ends up pretty, like, she nearly hits Gran just doing it at round start like this. That's pretty good. I believe, not to be 2M's a death sentence, most of the special cancels can be rolled. It's mostly combo filler. Most of the special cancels can be rolled. But yes, you shouldn't use it in pressure, that's correct. I believe, if I remember correctly, this is similar-ish? That was crazy to say, but... Yeah, right. Like, I mean, that's a pretty good 6XL. Yeah. Caledon's, I think, is getting a little closer to Gran, but, like, she's got a pretty nice 6XL on her, Vikala does. That's certainly something. 6XM is interesting. It's an overhead 6XM, but it's one of the ones that is not necessarily super safe, right? This is -6. Now, you can't space this out. If you do that, it gets, you know, -5 from there is basically only Ladiva is going to punish you for that, or Belial, right? And I think you can space it even better to get even better frame data. It's got 6 active frames on it. But yeah, like, most of the time, this is going to be a little bit risky to use. I think you have to, like, really let it rip from far away. It is not a super realistic thing to space to be safe, right? If I remember correctly. Nobody blocks 6XM right the first time, I don't know why. I guess it's like usually, unless a trap is behind you, there's no real, you know, most overhead 6XMs will get away a lot of the time. There's just no real threat to this unless a trap is behind you. So I don't think it's, people have it on their mental stack very often. Yeah, it's not a super realistic way to space it out, right? It's not a super realistic thing to space it out. Most, at best, you can get -6 or -5 spaced like this. Where again, like, most of the game, actually, even Ladiva, I don't think is punishing you there. I don't think, that's out of SPD range, I'm pretty sure. So, like, that's safe right there. But a lot of the times, it's going to be -6, and you are certainly very killable for that, right? At best, you might get far L'd or something, and then die from there. 6XH is a combo tool? Right? I think 6XH is a combo tool, as far as I'm aware, right? Like, I think there are some combos where you can extend with this. It's, you know, it goes pretty far. I think you can, this is usually safe if you space it, right? It's definitely safe. Her close H is more damage. I mean, I don't know if he ever needs like a ranged extension, but I'm not really sure what her 6XH is supposed to do. I feel like I don't see this very often. Maybe like in some niche horizontal combo extension or something. I mean, on hit, it sends them to the other end of the world, right? So again, I mean, that's a good effect for a zoner, right? Always safe, actually, even when you miss-space it, huh? That's nice. At least it's not like, you know, low reward and high risk. Yeah, -4. That's pretty good. 6H wall bounces on counter hit in the corner. That's about it. Yeah. 6H is far H, but worse from what I know. Yeah, I mean, even on regular hit, at least it sends them all the way across the stratosphere there, right? The real lexicon. Thank you for the follow, by the way. So, you know, it exists, right? It exists. It's fast-ish for a 6XH as well, like 16 frames total. I mean, no, I guess no, it's pretty average, actually. Right? Yeah, that's about normal. Yeah, it's there. Right, it's there. And so, back to Dormouse. EX Dormouse is, I believe, also rollable, if I remember correctly. Let me double-check that before I spread misinformation. Yep. So the only non-rollable one is L, right? But, you know, it's, yeah, it's a little faster, I believe, in how fast it travels across the screen. It can be a combo tool for her as well in the corner. I believe this wall bounces on regular hit, right? I believe this is also... These are all very... Oh, yeah, I thought M was also... I knew light was punishable. I thought M was also... I guess M is safe point blank. That's cool. Plus point blank. That's actually kind of nice for her, right? 15 frames, but like, you know... That's like a cancel? That's kind of nice for her to have. He's got an infinite, man. Look at this shit. And then H is... Oh, no. I thought H was the plus one. M is the only... I guess you can crouch it, right, is the idea. But, like, you know, if you don't crouch this, she has an infinite. That's cool. Right? I assume there is a gap here where I can have Gran crouch in between. Oh. Not always, apparently. Not off close M. It doesn't seem. Unless I'm missing something. Let me set a Vikala bot to do this. And then, plus frames from H, fellas. Yeah. Let me set a Vikala bot to do this. Let me try to crouch it. Does she have a good overhead to punish crouching? She's got 6M in many ways. Which, I mean, I wouldn't call that a good overhead unless you have a trap up, but... So I have Vikala just do that. Oh, I see, yeah. I just wasn't switching the Grand bot fast enough. Yeah. So, I mean, you can always crouch. You probably should always be down backing against Vikala, but, you know. If you don't, for some reason, she gets infinite plus frames off that. The big thing with Dormouse in general is H Dormouse, all versions of Dormouse, are not a fireball in the traditional sense. They're like a strike, right? So what happens is that Vikala is really bad to in Fireball Wars, right? She's real, like, which is a bit of another kind of a problem for a zoner, right? If Grandis does this, right? I really don't have, I mean, I think you? Yeah, you will go through it at the very least, thank God. Right? Like, my like, EX Fireball will lose to other EX Fireballs, which is certainly something. Right? So she's not... Despite being a zoner, any character with a Fireball is usually going to be able to just brute force their way through Dormouse. Right? A lot of the time. Now, granted, Dormouse, I think, will hit someone at full screen, like, faster than a Fireball. Your average Fireball will, right? Like, we just take Granathan here and throw this at him. 30 frames versus... How long does it take Granathans to hit? 41, right? So H Dormouse is faster than an average Fireball, certainly. But, again, even the EX version, one hit, blown out of the water by any EX Fireball in the video game, right? I can't find a man in this game, even though I've had it for so long. I keep switching between Seox and Percival, but I can't decide between the two. Those are two very different characters, brother. This is sad to watch and practice. Yeah. If she's hit out of the floor trap, is it destroyed? Like, could she use that... Could she use that to send it below? Like, if she's doing... You're saying... Like if she's doing, yeah, if she's hit out of it, it does go away, I think. I don't know if that ever, like at what point, I think it has to like fully set down, yeah, before. So not really, no. Like once it's fully set, I don't think it goes away on hits if it's like fully gone, right? Oh no, it does. Oh, I lied. Yeah, this always goes away. Interesting thing, since Dormouse counts as a strike, it can catch Seahawk's empty hand. That's true, yeah. I mean, projectile invincibility won't work against this, right? But it's also, this is kind of where it being fast, that's if you can do it in response to a fireball, but damn. Oh, I see. It being fast kind of hurts it here, because a lot of things, a lot of like projectile invincible supers and stuff like that, will have some amount of full invuln on them, and usually Dormouse will zoom past them in time before the projectile invuln runs out, right? So, you know, she doesn't really, like, Ladiva, for example, can SBA through this relatively easily, despite it not being a projectile. Random question, how does the one projectile on screen rule work for Vikala? I mean, as far as her items, it doesn't, right? Her items don't seem to be subject to this rule, as far as I can tell, right? I mean, if you have multiple stars, for example. And then she doesn't really have any other projectiles, right? See, you can have multiple stars on screen. I mean, even just inherently, the H cannons are gonna fire, right? Are gonna fire multiple cannons. But like this isn't a projectile, so it doesn't count, right? Like this straight up does not count towards the limit. Do the infinite in training mode. She does have an infinite. That's true. Vikala's top 1 because she can do this, right? As long as I keep mashing this button. This is an infinite. Right? Oh, I fucked it up. I held it for a little bit too long. But yeah, star on crouching. If you just get infinite stars, it is an infinite. So Vikala top 1, please nerf immediately. You Dormouse, right? Faster. I think actually a more real fireball. Though I do think it once again loses, if I remember correctly. I think it loses to you fireballs in these wars, right? No. Oh, it's actually okay. So it'll actually clash with them. That's nice. It's actually going to eat them. So that's something. And on hits, it gives you this big, right? The Rat's domain expansion, punch, punch, punch. It can be a nice, like, combo ender for her as well, right? Like a raw combo ender. Just throw that out, and then it gives her a very plus on block knockdown as well, right? Plus 55 right there. So she gets to do a lot of shit in the interim, set up cannons, things like that, set up items. She has an infinite gut her fireball, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I believe this is also, I mean, at range, a lot of these are going to be plus, right? A lot of these Dormice. Oh no! Oh right, no, because the animation's canned. Yeah. Because she doesn't start moving. She doesn't like. She has like it's a fully canned thing, right? So it's always the frame data is the same, I believe. Is U plus? No, U's -4. Okay. So yeah, none of these are. This is not really a pressure tool, unlike how some fireballs might be sometimes, right? But yeah. So that is, I believe. I don't think we missed anything. That's kind of Vikala as far as like at least the basic, just back of the cereal box. Like here's what the character does. As far as how to actually play her, we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see what actually happens. I'm gonna try and figure out some combo stuff like that. But anything interesting with her supers? Not really. I don't think. I mean, they are, there are supers. I don't think they're particularly bad or great, if I remember correctly. Like her SBA looks like this, right? Has a good amount of invuln on it. I'm not sure if that's projectile invuln or full invuln or what, right? But like, it's got some range to it. It full cinematics from a decent amount of its range, as far as I can tell. Yeah, and that's still full cinematic, right? And then her SSBA is this, one of the best animations in the game. I do believe this is a normal damage SSBA. I don't think it's a 6240. I think it's 6,000. Yeah, right? This one, I believe, it's much easier to get non-full cinematic on, right? Yeah, like you have to be pretty close for this one to full cinematic, as far as I can tell. Yeah, even like a little closer than round start. It's a little bit less reliable than SBA in that manner, so you want to just you probably want to use that just like as a combo ender at the very end, or like someone point blank in your face. This is still a reversal as well, right? Her SSBA clashes with Zoe U Dragon, but I don't know if that is unusual. I don't know what Zoe U Dragon is actually. I don't know what the F-150 is like coded as, right? I guess her close normals. You can talk about those. 6 frame close L, right? 6 frame close L doesn't have the same downsides that Fairy and Matera do, though, right? It doesn't have the 8 recovery frames. This is just like a normal 6 frame close L by and large. Triple hits, close M. Something, 7 frames, right? Not really a premium stat line as far as the speed. Close H is real slow, right? 11 frame close H. Also punishable on block, right? So you definitely want to cancel that into something, so a bit of a problem. Again, more of a combo tool, right? Because her cancel options are not exactly amazing. But yeah, 11 frame close H means that Vikala is one of the characters who can't do this, right? She can't do Raging Chain into close H. She's one off, right? So definitely a bad close H, but for all intents and purposes, right? Just not a good close H. Low damage, bad frame data, right? Everything about it is just a little bit stinky poopy, stinky poopy, in-shitified by Cygames, I fear. But yeah, Vikala. Let's actually try and figure out, like, look at the character guide, figure out some combos and stuff.